Welcome back to another episode of If I Die Tomorrow, the podcast that confronts our mortality head on, straight faced, and tries to make you laugh in the process. Because, my train of thought is in a wreck somewhere. It's been a lot. We just made it through Thanksgiving, grateful. Now it's the hustle and bustle of Christmas. Phew, I'm already tired. But anyway, we're the podcast that, makes you confront your mortality to inspire a life of meaning. I'm your host, Nicole. Yeah, same person. I know. Pretty soon, maybe I'll stop introducing myself. Last week, we challenged you in some way to take the feeling of gratitude and giving thanks from the dinner table to your life. Today, we're going to turn that lens on one of our most human pursuits, love and connection. And depending on how your Thanksgiving went, you might be all peopled out. But I'm hoping that we can reel you back in and have you search yourself to find that love and connection that you need for not only yourself, but for the world. Now I'm going to say it. We all give love. We all receive love. But have you ever felt like your efforts were invisible? Like you're pouring from a full cup, but the person you love still feels empty? That disconnect, that feeling of disappointment over love not being properly delivered is what we're tackling with this next couple of episodes about, and we're going to look at the 5 love languages. And yes, it's important to understand each other, but you really do got to communicate. It's so easy to get lost in well, we've been together so long, they should just know what I want. Excuse me? Because you know what you want all the time, right? You never change your mind. You're not a mind reader. I'm not a mind reader. Thank God I'm not a mind reader. It's bad enough when I imagine the little, text box above somebody's head with what I think they might be saying. Because again, we interject the tone, we interject the mood, the feeling, the emotion, when sometimes it's just not there, and it depends on the day we're having. Ain't that the truth? And I know we don't like to admit it, but it's the truth. Now, I know a lot of you have probably heard about the 5 love languages: words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. And this comes from the work of Dr. Gary Chapman. He did a lot of good work with this. I just don't want us to rely totally on this. We are in partnerships and relationships for a reason, so that we communicate. The principle is very simple for what he's done. Again, he's put a lot of work into it, and he has a lot of integrity. And no, I don't know the man. But the principle, in its simplicity, is profound. We all have a love tank, and we each speak a primary language. We naturally give love in the language we want to receive it. The problem is if your primary love language is quality time, but your partner's is receiving some gifts, you could spend hours together and they don't feel loved and appreciated because they're expecting a gift. And this is, well, I like the breakdown. I like the simplicity of it. What I don't like is that there's no ownership. So, yes, my partner's love language might be receiving gifts, and mine is quality time being spent. And so at some point though, you or your partner needs to be grateful for what you're given. Yes, you would like things in a certain way. We all would. But that doesn't mean the emotion isn't there or isn't as valuable because it's not in the way you want to receive it. If that makes sense. I told you my train of thought is on the side of the road. I have not seen the smoke yet, but it might be going there. However, once you do that, and like I said, you need to be grateful for, it may not be your primary love language, but you need to be grateful because if you recognize that you give love the way in which you want to receive it, if you just notice that your partner gave you a lot of quality time, it should not come as a shock to you that their love language is quality time. So honor that. And the same goes for, vice versa. We're going to, right now, I'm going to quickly decode the 5 languages because we overcomplicate this. So, words of affirmation, verbal appreciation. I see you. You did a great job. Or a note given to them about something they did, something you saw they did, and the way that you appreciate it. Okay? Could also be a very nice love letter. Next, acts of service. Doing things you know your partner would like you to do. That can open up a whole can of worms. I'm sorry, we're keeping this simple. Taking out the trash, making dinner, running an errand. Actions speak louder than words to them. Receiving gifts. And this is so hard because it's not always materialistic. I know that's what we think of, but it is not always materialistic in the sense that they need, the $100,000 watch. Okay? It is the actual act of getting something that reminded them of you. It's that thoughtfulness. And it's a physical symbol that says, I was thinking of you. Which, we always like to be thought of in a kind way. Or maybe, yeah. Next, quality time. Undivided attention. No phones, no emails, no TV, no multitasking. Being fully present. And this is about being with them. So, okay, yes, no distractions. I said no TVs. Okay. However, maybe Date night is a movie in the house, and that is quality time. As long as you're together on the couch and one of you isn't doing something in the next room and then popping your head back in and popping it back out. That's not quality time. Last, physical touch. And this isn't just about intimacy sexually. It's about the hugs. It's about the tender hand holding or the kiss on the forehead or on the cheek or touching their arm as they speak to you. Sitting close to them. For them, the contact is the clearest emotional connection. It's visible, it's tangible, it's felt, it's seen by others. But the emotional part of it is still between you two, but others can see. And I don't know about you guys. Have you guys ever been to like a wedding or a reception and you see some of the couples there and the way they look at each other? Or if they go out to dance and you can just see it. Everything else in the world just falls away. It's just them. And it's a beautiful thing. And physical touch can bring that quality time. So just another thing I've noticed. And maybe you'll start to notice it too. But it's so beautiful because that physical touch, that emotional connection, the outside world, actually get a small glimpse into their world when we see that. And it's amazing. And they're very lucky to have it. And we're very lucky to see it. This next part might be a little bit hard because we're going to identify our own language. And how do you know which one is yours? They've got tests online, take the quiz and you can find out your love language. The hard part is I always feel like those things are a trick question because it's like, oh, but I do like that. Or I like that. Well, yeah, I like it when you do that. Okay, well, again, this goes back to our partners can't be mind readers because guess what? If we can't stay right there, how are they supposed to know which one we're at? Is it based on day of the week? I mean, come on now. So, but there are a couple of instant checks you can do. So here's the first one. What do you complain about most? Yes, I know we're talking about love languages, but seriously, it's a check. What do you complain about the most? Are you constantly saying, you never help me around the house? Your language is likely acts of service. If you often say, you never tell me I'm appreciated, you probably are words of affirmation. Usually your biggest complaint reveals your deepest need. I'm going to say that again. Usually your biggest complaint reveals your deepest need. Next is, how do you naturally show love? The first thing you do when you want to make a loved one happy is usually your primary language. Do you write them a sweet card? Words of affirmation. Do you offer to run their errands? Acts of service. excuse me. Now that we've broken it down, taken it into bite-sized chunks, I'm going to give you the If I Die Tomorrow task for this week. Identify your own love language and write it down. This is going to hold you accountable so you can't keep flipping your love language. And then this is your first step toward living easier. Because once you recognize it and you understand it, you can explain it and you can communicate it. And once you can clearly articulate what it is, it will make a world of difference. When you say my love language is quality time, I feel most loved when we put our phones away for 30 minutes and actually just talk. You're taking the guesswork out of it. And don't you want to do that for the people you love? I mean, come on. We already change our minds and flip the script so many times. I swear we all should be walking around with whiplash. So let's take one thing away. And now, by doing this, we can not leave tomorrow with any kind of disappointment. In yourself because you didn't ask for the love that you truly need. And again, be grateful for the love that you do receive. It may not always be in your primary language, but it is still love nonetheless. I want to thank you for sticking through this one with me. I'm going to be checking in on how your task went next week. And I know we're getting closer to Christmas, and we'll get into some of that hustle and bustle and, the new year. But as always, thank you for being here with me. I really do appreciate our chats. I look forward to the comments. And I do read them. I respond. Just remember, be kind, be grateful, stay humble.